Almetrics The Evolution of Research Evaluation. Once, researchers researched and created a research product, almost always a peer-reviewed journal article. Other researchers would read that article and enter into the scholarly conversation by acknowledging or citing the original work, along with the other scholarly works, and adding to or refuting the previous work, and in turn they would submit their own scholarly paper for peer review, where the citations were checked and counted. Then another researcher would read that article, and noting the references, he would look for the original article, and he would respond acknowledging the other researchers and submitting his own work. One product of this process was bibliometrics. Bibliometrics allowed us to assign value to an article, or a researcher, or a publication based on how many citations the article generated over time. A lot of time. Bibliometrics are good. Articles with many citations are probably foundational, and they deserve a close look by other researchers. And a researcher who has produced good work in the past is a good bet for producing more, which makes research funding agencies happy. Journals that publish good research are a good value for libraries that support research. But information has changed over the past couple decades with advances in information technology and new ways of communicating amongst researchers. And new research products require a new kind of metrics that will embrace that diversity. Jason Priam, a graduate student, tossed the term Almetrics out in a tweet in 2010, and though there have been other contenders and an evolution of definitions, the term is stuck. And the National Information Standards Organization has taken on the task of trying to help create a comprehensive framework for this new kind of evaluation. Before we had that framework, tools were already being developed. There are 3 common divisions with many examples in each. Non-academic sources of Almetric data include Facebook, which is used to share journal articles, video presentations, blog posts, and more. Metrics are gathered for how many times a URL is shared, liked, or commented on. These are indicators of interest, and they can be gathered by harvesting tools we will get to in a moment. Twitter is similar to Facebook in the metrics gathered when a URL is tweeted or retweeted. Surprisingly, Twitter is used more often than Facebook for academic purposes. YouTube is used for uploading lectures or a methodology demonstration, and it is very useful for sharing conference presentations. Metrics are gathered for total number of views, comments, and favorite designations. Amazon counts how often a book is purchased compared to other books in the same category, and it captures book reviews and ratings. Goodreads offers self-reported user metrics, which are an all-important context information that's missing in some data, along with those same book ratings and reviews. Finally, GitHub allows users to upload code, share, and collaborate with others. Metrics gathered include watchers, collaborators, and forks, or the copying of code for a new purpose. Academic tools begin with institutional repositories. Metrics gathered are of value in encouraging researchers to house their work there. Citation managers like Mendeley provide a service to researchers by organizing citations in full text, while they are also gathering demographic information as well as counting those materials saved. There is a mild correlation between Mendeley users and the later citation counts, so it may show early indication of scholarly impact. The last 2 I have listed are both closed academic peer network systems, and unlike the previous examples, the data gathered here is not harvested by the big aggregators, only users with an account. Metrics gathered uploaded citations, full text saved, authors followed. These are just a few. Next we have Altmetrics harvesting tools. The big ones are altmetrics.com and PlumX. Both these harvest or gather altmetrics from the sources we already covered and others. They also use visuals and organize the data in order to provide context. Both also offer customized products for a variety of users. They both have some general similarities, but they also have enough differences that it begins to illustrate some problems inherent in using altmetrics for research evaluation. Altmetrics are not without problems. One of the most common issue researchers and librarians bring up with regards to altmetrics is that it is susceptible to cheating. Twitter is an open arena where bots can tweet and retweet anything. Friends and family can like a post on Facebook even if they've never read the paper it describes. One can buy fake followers, like Justin Bieber, who lost 3.5 million followers in an Instagram purge of fake accounts and bots. To date, evidence of this happening in the research arena is slim, but there are few safeguards in place, and this needs to be addressed if trust in the data is going to grow. Also, the very public nature of social media is part of what we like about altmetrics, but we say we want an intersection between research and the public, but many influential researchers do not feel that way. They are also not suffering with the slow pace of the bibliometric system generally because they got their influence because they were successful in that system. In order to sustain growth, altmetrics is going to have to win over a majority of stakeholders in academia. Also, correlations with bibliometrics is weak. We do still value those numbers we're used to. Data currently being gathered does not seem to be an indicator of academic impact if citation counts are the standard. There are arguments that suggest that standards should be reconsidered, but they are in the minority at this point. Altmetrics is a pretty new way of measuring research, and there are some growing pains that we will have to address. Librarians are the ones who are positioned to facilitate the evolution of metric gathering and use because we have been using metrics. Some libraries are beginning to use this new data as well. Librarians in some academic institutions are already beginning to create LibGuides and design workshops that help researchers recognize the importance of leveraging these metrics in the event that they become important in the development of promotion and tenure dossiers or funding and grants. They are also helping researchers recognize how these open forums can generate public interest in their research. As NISO compiled information for their initiative, they determined that librarians want to increase authors' awareness of the scholarly and societal impacts of their scholarly outputs and such outputs in general. Embracing the challenge of engaging with research and responding to it is one of the great gifts of the digital age. Librarians can make sure everyone is prepared to navigate the uncertainties ahead.